saying the other night, I hate the term tricking. Because tricking has a negative connotation to it, like you're doing something for somebody for something in exchange.
Expectations in return, yeah, feel it.
It's just nice to make somebody else feel good. Like, you know, like Jordan. Jordan is such a bright spirit with so much electric energy, and I just like seeing her feel good. I like seeing all these women feel good. Thank you. Oh shit, I didn't know she was still here.
You can't.
But yeah, no, I love seeing people feel good, and that might do something for you in life more than trying to get that watch, get that whip for yourself, you know? Fill that bank account up. It's always good to have personal goals, but do something for somebody else. You might feel a little more than strapping a watch to your wrist or driving that new car, moving into that new place. I know those are important things too. Quality of life is important, but you start to do things for other people, you go home. Even if you're lonely, even if you had a rough day, a tough day, you'll sit there and think, I know somebody else is feeling.
We are not going to sit here and play around with definitions just to make this sound better for Drake. There are certain codes, rules, and meanings that have been established for a reason within this particular lifestyle, and you cannot participate in that world while also trying to rewrite the structure that comes with it. Once you choose to be involved in that lane, you have to understand what the words mean instead of rearranging them and misrepresenting the game. From what I understand, this whole thing was on the Bend the Dawn stream where they were doing some kind of dating game, including a 20v1. Then the clip started getting reposted and reshared all over the internet, so obviously the conversation spread everywhere. No Puncher Pathetic 22 and his wife Lena the sperm cleaner were always going to find a way to capitalize on a moment where they could take things into a vile direction because they sold their souls to the timeline a long time ago. But when it comes to Drake pushing this particular idea, nah bro, we cannot do that. Let me make the distinction clear, because tricking has a meaning and the negative conversation around it exists because the person doing it is viewed as a lick. I do not care what a woman tells you or how she makes you feel about it, because a trick is not suddenly respected just because somebody tells you otherwise. You need to know what it is, understand what it means, and accept what comes with it. We cannot just hand this off to the younger generation and pretend the definitions do not matter, because those words and meanings exist to maintain a certain balance within that world. If you give somebody something purely out of generosity, there is no attraction involved, and you genuinely have no intention of dating that person, then that is not tricking. You are basically saying, I'm just looking out for you, expecting absolutely nothing in return. But tricking is a different situation entirely. That is when you're thinking, I could possibly date you, you look attractive and you are the kind of woman I deal with, and then you start giving gifts to win her over while telling yourself, I'm only doing this because I'm a nice guy. No bro, that is not what is happening. Now if Drake is talking about simply giving donations and helping people, he's not wrong about that part. You work hard, you grind, you reach a position where you can look out for somebody, and naturally you're going to feel good knowing you helped them. That's common sense, and there's nothing wrong with that. But again, that is not the same thing as tricking. Tricking comes from a much darker side of that world, where women are trying to capitalize financially on men who are willing to pay for sexual favors, time, attention, or anything along those lines. That becomes their hustle. That becomes the trap, and their body is essentially what they are using to make that money. They can be talking to you while already thinking, I'm about to get all this money out of you, even though they will never come right out and tell you that. You can spend money on them endlessly, pay for this, pay for that, and they can still turn around and deal with another dude who doesn't have 10% of what you have. I'm keeping it completely real here, bro, because I'm speaking from experience as somebody who has tricked off before. So we are not going to come back and rearrange the definition just because somebody wants the word to mean something else. This is a game, and the meaning of tricking has already been established within that game. Women do not respect tricks simply because they're spending money, and women who are specifically looking for tricks are looking at those men as licks. That's another word for the exact same thing. When you are tricking it off, the situation is basically, every time I talk to this dude, he's spending money. Then she goes back to her other friends, her homegirls, and tells them, hey, he bought this for me. That is what the word is describing, and changing the language does not change the behavior behind it. Talk to a woman who genuinely rocks with you, and she will tell you that the way you enter the situation is usually how you're going to be treated. If you walk in leading with money, then money is going to become part of how she sees you. Keep it completely real though, because there are situations where a man started off tricking and eventually turned that into a real relationship, got married, had kids, and built something genuine. That does happen, but it does not change what the original situation was. This has been around for a very long time, and it's a whole hustle built around men spending money in exchange for attention, time, or intimacy. If that's the world you're choosing to deal with, then you should understand exactly what you're walking into. And a lot of the men doing this are married because they do not want to put in the time that comes with actually dating somebody. They don't want to call, check in, wine and dine, or build that kind of connection because they already have a situation waiting for them at home. Sometimes the mindset is simply, I want to have some fun with somebody new and then go right back home. Then you have other men who struggle to attract women, so their approach becomes simple. I have money, I'll pay. There are also guys who are already living a certain lifestyle, traveling, partying, working, and grinding, and they simply don't want to spend their time running game. Their attitude is basically, we're outside, we're moving around, we'll spend some money and keep it pushing. But trust me, the women involved understand what kind of arrangement they're dealing with. If you show up, spend your money, and the entire situation is transactional, then you have to understand why it's considered tricking. Those two things go together. You cannot spend money trying to purchase someone's affection and then convince yourself that the feelings are automatically real. A woman can tell you whatever makes you feel good, but that does not mean the money created genuine attraction. You could give somebody $1 million, and once she gets accustomed to that treatment and understands that she has you figured out, she could still choose to be with a man she genuinely likes who never had to spend anything on her. That's just keeping it 100. Now, some women believe every man should contribute financially, and that's their personal choice and lifestyle, but that still does not mean we need to change the rules or rewrite the definition. If Pimpy or one of the old school players heard this conversation, people might stay quiet simply because it's Drake saying it, but somebody has to say it for the next generation. When you lead with your wallet, that money is going to affect how the relationship is viewed. That is different from genuinely helping somebody with no expectation attached. If you want to donate to charity, see somebody struggling, help them out, or even pay for everybody in a grocery line because you can, that's simply looking out. Women, men, whoever's there, it doesn't matter. But saying you're specifically spending on women because they're such nice girls is a different conversation. We're not going to normalize that and pretend it is something else. I've been around long enough to understand how this game works, even though I don't really go to the pop and strip clubs or anything like that. I've been seeing this kind of thing since I was a teenager, so we're not going to rewrite the game or push that mindset onto the next generation.